Hello, Year 4, back again for another week of home learning. I'm going to go through all of the documents that are on the Google Drive for you in this video. And so then in further YouTube videos, there will be other videos which gives a bit more teaching and a bit more information for some of the different subjects and some of the activities that we're setting you. So if we move into the Google Drive, and we're into Year 4 home learning and week 14. You can see each of the folders have been set up for you again for this week. And the first place we're going to look is for the explanation of tasks, the Year 4 home learning document. So you can see, as always, I've started here with the White Rose Maths activities. This week for your White Rose Maths activities, we're going to be looking, continuing to look at shape and particularly different areas of the geometry units that we would have been doing had we have been in school. In particular, we're going to be looking at different quadrilaterals. That's just a really posh word for all four-sided shapes. Okay, so the first activity that you've got to do there is a number of different questions and a number of different tasks, all focused around quadrilaterals, which are four-sided shapes. Later on in the week, you've got another couple of activities which is focusing on symmetry, where you're going to be thinking about finding lines of symmetry in shapes and also completing symmetric patterns as well. In order to do that, the White Rose documents are, I know you're getting used to using those, but some of the vocab and some of the terminology might be a little bit new, or it might be a little bit tricky for you to understand straight away. So I would advise, before attempting the White Rose documents and the White Rose tasks there are 2 videos for you to be looking at, which will just give you a little bit more information and it will help you to understand exactly what that vocab means. So this first link here that you can click on, and I've put a little screenshot of what to expect for it to look like. That will help you when you're looking at the quadrilaterals lesson, particularly looking at the different four-sided shapes and what they're called and their different properties and things like that. The second and third session, which links into symmetry, this video here will help you with those sessions as well. And again, it just shows you how to find different lines of symmetry and how to complete different symmetric shapes. So it'll be a really good idea to be able to have a go at watching those videos first to just get the background knowledge that you'll need before you attempt the White Rose tasks. And the White Rose tasks, as always, are in the White Rose Maths folder there. You can see I've popped in there the answer sheets. Make sure that you look at those answers so you can check your progress after you've completed the task. You've also got the normal worksheet documents in there. I've also popped in the PowerPoints for each of the days, just because sometimes it helps to see it a bit bigger and in a different format. It might help you to be able to understand it a bit easier. So the PowerPoints are there, but they are exactly the same as the PDF documents and the worksheets. They're just in a bigger format for you. Might be easier for you to use. Okay, so that's the White Rose activities. Also for maths this week, in the maths activities folder, I've just popped in a few other activities which are going to help you to continue those skills of symmetry. So there is a fairly simple activity here of being able to complete a symmetric pattern, and there's lots of different levels of activity that you can do there. There's another activity, this one here, which is asking you to be able to reflect a shape across a mirror line. So you can see from the example that I've loaded up here, you've got the mirror line shown in the solid black line going down the middle of the grid there, and you've got the shaded pattern here. It's a really good idea when you are reflecting a shape across a mirror line to count the squares away from the mirror line to help you. So I can see, looking at this point here, I know that is 1 square away from the mirror line. So I know when I'm going to plot that on the opposite side, I'm going to count 1 square away and I'm going to put my dot here. It would be a really good idea to plot the shape as dots where you can see each of the vertices of the shapes as you go. Okay, use those, each of the corners, the vertices of the shapes, and then plot them one at a time and then join the lines up at the end. That's a really good way of helping you to do that. There's a number of different shapes there, different levels of difficulty for you to have a go at reflecting across the mirror line, some vertical mirror lines and some horizontal mirror lines for an extra challenge there as well. And then finally in here, you also have a bit more of a challenge where you've got dots on a grid and it's can you continue the picture? And again, I would really advise counting the dots to help you to identify exactly where that line, where that symmetrical line would go, okay? So again, it's like it's reflecting across the mirror line, but being able to count the dots to help you to complete the picture so that by the end of the activity, the picture that you create will be completely symmetrical following the half that you've already been given. I look forward to seeing those once you've had a go at those. Okay, moving, if I go back into this explanation of tasks here, after the maths activities, you can see we've got our usual number of English activities. As always, there's some spelling activities for you. I know you've got quite used to seeing the spag mats now. Those are in the spelling folder for you. I'll show you where those are. Where is it? There we go, spag folder. So we've got the spelling activity mats, there's the spag mats. We've also got a fun crossword there as well. All of the answers for that crossword are on your spelling list. So look out for your spelling list to help you with that. Also for English this week, if I go back into the explanation of tasks, you will see that there are 2 reading comprehensions. Those reading comprehensions are linked to your history task this week from Miss Eddleston. So there's 2 in the reading comprehension folder. There's one based on the Battle of Britain, which is exactly our history learning for this week, and also the Prime Minister Winston Churchill as well. So there's 2 different reading comprehensions there. It's a really good idea to read those before you do the history so that it gives you the background knowledge that you'll need ready for the history lesson. Okay, moving into our English then this week. There are a number of documents in the Google Drive for you for English this week, and that's continuing to link around the sheep pig. Our aim this week will be to finish the book, so I've popped in the text there again for you. Chapters 11 and chapters 12 is what we're going to be reading this week, so that's there for you to read. All of these activities are linked around you being able to write a newspaper report based on what we read in the story. I'll go into a bit more detail about how to write a newspaper and exactly what the content of your newspaper could look like in a separate YouTube video. So have a look at the second YouTube video for English this week, and that will give you a detailed teaching of exactly how we can write a successful newspaper report. All of these documents within the Google Drive are there to help you to be able to write that newspaper successfully. Okay, back into this document then. After the English, you can see we've got Mrs. Lancaster's science lesson. So we're on session 7 of our science lesson. We're continuing our living things topic. And this week we're thinking about, it's all about bees. So I know last week you had quite an introduction into bees and the uses of bees and the reasons as to why they're really important. This week we're going to go a bit further into that. So within the Google Drive, there's the PowerPoint for you to look at, but also Mrs. Lancaster, has done another video for you. So again, look out for the separate science video. It's session 7 science, so that Miss Lancaster can give you the teaching for that before you do your activity. This week in our science, you are going to be creating a concept map, and Mrs. Lancaster will show you exactly what that looks like on the video to show all what you know about bees. You're going to be looking at similarities and differences between the bees that you're looking at, and then eventually you're going to do a little bit of research, which I'm really looking forward to. So you're going to be looking at different ways as to how you can present your research, and I know Mrs. Lancaster gives you some really good ideas on that video. So pop over to that video and have a look to see that exciting science. Can't wait to see it. For your history this week, Miss Eddleston again has done another history video for you. So again, pop over to the extra history video for you. This week we're going to be looking at the Blitz and exactly what the Blitz meant and the impact that that had, first of all on Britain, but also more locally to us. So with the impact on Fareham and the impact on Portsmouth as well. You're going to be looking at a number of different British planes that we used during World War II, and also the difference between the German planes planes. And I know that Miss Edelstein really wants you to be able to design your own favourite World War II plane. So again, have a look at the separate history video for a bit more information. The task that you'll need to complete is on the Google Drive there. Now I'll find it there for you. So there's the worksheet there for you to complete, and there's a number of activities within that document for you to have a look at. Okay. And the final thing that we've got included on our explanation of tasks is your next art session. So we've had a good look now at exactly what pointillism is, and we've started to research some of the different artists that are famous for using the pointillism technique. This week, you're going to have a go yourselves. So on the explanation of tasks document here, there are 2 videos that I'd like you to watch first of all. These videos will show you exactly how you can use the pointillism technique using some really simple tools that you've got at home, cotton buds and some paint. If you don't have any cotton buds or you don't have any paint at home, that's absolutely fine. You can still do pointillism using simple felt tip pens. But have a watch of these videos, see how the technique is built up, and look at all the different layers of colour that the artists have been putting in. Once you've watched those videos, I've then popped some templates on the Google Drive for you to have a go. So I'd really like you to use what you see in the videos as a guide and then have a go at filling in the templates. So we've got an outdoor scene template for you to use. There's also a sunshine template as well for you to have a look at. So have a go at filling in one of those or both of those if they take your fancy, and make sure you share them with us to show us how you've got on. Okay, so that's all of the tasks for this week. Have a look at the other videos for a bit more detail to explain each of those subjects in more detail. And please don't forget to share your amazing work with us. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.